Okay, so then let's start, and we'll let people who are joining. We can refresh this session again. Okay, 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 great. So a very good morning, everyone. My name is Vignesh, from Director for the Sartonica Group. We are an associate service partner and implementation partner for the Sol System SolidWorks. We do all kind of PDM data management implementations. We do some kind of CAD automation services. We do API customizations for different CAD based applications. Okay, so our today's agenda is Bomb Creator. Bomb Creator is a product developed by our team which works with SolidWorks as a top up to the CAD SolidWorks CAD system. So it works on any of your CAD systems, SolidWorks Standard, Professional, or Premium. Okay, during the session, if you have any queries, anything you do not get it, please you can type your query on the chat box, chat window, and we can take your queries after the completion of session. Okay, yeah. So as we discussed, we are talking today. Today's main agenda is bill of materials. So let's understand why do we need bill of material first. So we create bill of materials to understand the number of fabrication parts, manufacturing parts, bought out parts, etc. Available in the machine, right? So this bill of material is something which gives us the picture of all these details. It enables us to identify the purchase item and purchase it out from the market, right? It actually gives us the details of composition of machine, the what are the different grades of material being used and in what weight they are being used. So all those information we get it from the bill of material. Another is like to if you want to understand what are my in-house components, what are my outsourced components. So these are basic things which we get out of our bill of material, right? So there are a lot of other things which we get out of a bill of material, but we have listed few of them here. Okay. In SolidWorks, we do have bill of materials. We do have a solid bill of material in a CAD system. We have basically three types of bill of material. One is the top level BOM, other one is the parts only, and one is the indented BOM. Okay. So now the top level BOM basically gives us the details of items available in my first level of the assembly. So whatever parts, assemblies, sub-assemblies, bought outs, whatever is available in the first level, it gives us the glimpse of that, the top level BOM of the SolidWorks. When we talk about parts only BOM, it gives us the details of all the SolidWorks parts available in my machine. So irrespective of they being a manufacturing part or a bought out part or a hardware or a BOP, etc. So it gives me the details of all the SolidWorks parts, right? Last is the SolidWorks indented BOM. It gives me the hierarchical BOM, a level by level detail of each and every component present in my machine, in my assembly. The first level, the second level. It goes on, right? So in spite of having the bill of material functionality in our SolidWorks, there are certain set of issues which are seen in our day-to-day working of a designer of in a manufacturing company. What are those? So one of the major feature what we see is we spend a lot of time in creating and uploading BOM in our SAP or ERP system. Okay, so now in right now, if we see more than 85% of industries do have some kind of ERP system or SAP system established in their organization. Okay, so this is just to enhance the manufacturing process, manufacturing cycle, the communication, everything, right? So it's just the so now why do we upload BOMs in ERP system, right? So this becomes a platform wherein they are able to share the bill of material to different departments, and we do it in two different ways. Either we type each and every part number with their respective details inside the ERP system or SAP system, or we prepare some kind of format in Excel CSV and try to upload it in our SAP system. So both of them become a tedious job to handle, right? A tough job to handle. Next is the chaos between the design, production, planning, the different departments, the chaos between different departments because of the wrong or incomplete BOM. So now what happens is we prepare and amend BOMs manually. Okay. So now what happens is when we do a manual job, there are chances we do some kind of mistakes. And these mistakes are not identified during the design phase, but it is identified during the assembly of machine or the dispatch of machine, which actually caused the delivery of the delay of the project. Next issue, what we see, next problem, what we see is the basic segregation of parts based on their types. So now, when a bill of material is released, when a bill of material is released to the different department, say production or purchase team, so now the initial concern of the production department becomes only the manufacturing parts, and initial concern of the sourcing or the purchase team becomes the bought out hardware. So now they spend time in segregating and listing out their own respective parts, right? They struggle with a lot of this list, right? And they spend a lot of time, again a manual job, again a tedious job. Another issue, another problem which we see is the improper planning because of the delay in projects because of the improper planning. So now every order has a set delivery date. So if we get an order for a machine, we have to deliver it within a certain set of span. So say if I get an order, I must deliver it within 3 months, 4 months, right? So now, so if we do not plan it properly, what I say by planning, so now the every manufacturing component has its own manufacturing lead time, and every purchase component has its own market available lead time, right? So now item taking, and we need to plan it things according to the lead time of the component. Or so if we do not plan it, we end up a project getting delayed. Next, one of the major concern is the tracking of release of drawings. Okay, so now it happens normally in organization. Designers release the drawings, and the production department comes back and say they haven't received the drawing. They don't have it. Okay, or to whom did you release the drawing? So that becomes a challenge. So now we designers what usually do, they keep a record in the Excel format, in Excel reports, or they do it and say maintain some registers wherein they do the entry, right? And basically it again creates a chaos, and it basically gives us a lot of tough time. Next is the calculation of project cost. Project cost, if we do not calculate it rightly, if we do miss the important components, our budget can get into a cost. We get a cost contingency in the complete project plan. So this is another challenge what we see. Last, the problem which we are going to discuss is like the planning and handling of production of multiple machines at the same time. So now we do get orders, we do have some production team, we do have design team. So now we often face challenge in managing the release of drawings, the managing the purchase of items for multiple orders, right? So the project accuracy has to be maintained so as to deliver the right result to the customers. So now with Bomb Creator, we have tried to cover up, identify these gaps and try to cover up these loopholes through our software. Okay. So now the this with Bomb Creator, what we can do is basically you can create complete bombs during the design phase itself. You need not wait for your drawing to get released. You need not wait for all those stuff. You can do it all those stuff during the design phase itself. So let me quickly jump to the software. So now I hope you are able to see my interface. So now this is the basic bomb creator interface. So there are two ways you can work. One is you get the installation done on your machine, and you can start launching and start working on it. The other way is you get buttons inside the bomb creator window or inside the SolidWorks window, or you can just quickly go and start creating bombs out of it. Okay, so you can do it both ways, either of ways. So the first option, what we see is the inside bomb is the ERP bomb. So now this bomb, through this we We can create a ready to upload ERP and SAP bombs out of our software. So you need not worry. The fields what you need for your ERP system, for the SAP system, we can customize it and we can just start generating report which can be uploaded in your SAP or ERP system. Second is the design bomb. Design bomb is nothing but an enhanced version of our SolidWorks indented bomb. It gives you the complete level by level detail of each and every component, and it also gives you the complete composition of your machine. Okay, so we'll see like how does it really works. Next is the part list. So if you want to create a basic segregation, if you want to identify what are my manufacturing parts in my machine, I can click and create the list immediately. Right. Similarly, if I want to identify the bought out parts, I can click and create a list. So similarly, if you have any other type you want to segregate in terms of like sheet metal, hardware, BOP, etc. So we can do that customization for you. Okay, so let's first create a bomb. So the best part of working on this bomb creator is like you always work with the main assembly of your file. So you can click on the main assembly, it can just start creating reports. Once your design is once your complete 3D model is ready, you can just click and start creating the reports. Here inside bomb creator, you can see the progress window. It shows you how's the progress, how much time. It basically takes time based on the size of your assembly. Okay, and all the reports are created in Microsoft Excel, and all the Excel reports are password protected, so that there are no manual intervention or manual changes in that report. So so it completely helps you to create an error-free bill of material, which can be uploaded in your ERP SAP system. So you save a lot of time here, right? So if you see, so this is the BOM. So these are the fields which can be customized as when required by your organization. And I'll explain you how this has been created. If we'll go inside this, you can see this is the small conveyor for which we have created this bill of material. It has one, two, and three sub assemblies inside this, and it has certain set of parts and BOPs. So what it has done is it has selected the first sub assembly, given its child, the second sub assembly, its child, the third sub assembly, its child, and the top level items, right? And all the fields can be customized as per the requirement of your ERP or SAP system, right? Next, let's have a look at the design bomb. I'll just create again, click. So as I said, is an enhanced version of your SolidWorks indented bomb. It will give you a level by level detail. It will first give you the top level details, then the each and every individual assembly, sub assembly is present in that, and their child and their respective child. It could be a part or a BOP, whatever. So it will give you the complete list of that. If you see, look at this. It's basically reading each and every component. You can see that it reads in each and every component in the 3D CAD model, and it goes on creating these items details as a report of the in Excel format. So there you go. So this is the report, as I said. So this is an assembly-wise form, right? So this is the main assembly. This is the top level items and the details of sub-assemblies and its child and their top level, again their child, and last is the composition of complete machine, right? So basically, we get the details of different grades of material being used in my machine, in this machine, and these are their respective weights, right? So now with this, I can immediately book my material for getting manufactured. I can book the stores for this. I can just book this material at my stores, or I can order. I can ask my purchase team to get the material from the market as required for manufacturing this machine. So I get to know how much material is required and what grade of material is required for complete fabrication of this machine. So as I told you, bomb creator is fully integrated with our SolidWorks CAD system. We can create bombs out of this here also. So if I click on the part bomb, so if I want to identify the part manufacturing part details, so it gives me that in a quick glance. And the most important thing is you can get it, you get the details, you can create the preview images with our bomb items, each and every item. You can add images of the file if you need. You can add some images of it if you want, and that will give you, and you can create, we give you both options. You can see, you can have the images of the files as well, or if you do not want it, you can we can create it without images also. So it's a completely a choice. You can have it with images or without images, your reports with images and without images. And as I said, these fields can be customized as per your need, as per the industrial requirement, right? So this is the segregated list of the parts, only the manufacturing part details, no BOP, no hardware, right? So I can create, similarly, I can create the details of bought out items out of it, or any further type category what I need, right? So I can just quickly go and create the details of segregated list of the bought out items. So now this becomes easier for me. So I can just pass on the required details to the required department in a very quickly and error free. Most important is the error free. Moving further, we have something called priority part list. So now, what is this priority? So now, every manufacturing component has its own manufacturing lead time. So when I say manufacturing lead time, it means like if I release a drawing today or a drawing, there could be a component in my machine. If a drawing is released today, so that could be manufactured in say 10 days of time. There are components which could be manufactured say in 20 days of time from the date of release of drawing. So there could be components which could be made in 2 days of time from the release of drawing. So now every component has its own manufacturing lead time. So now for avoiding the project delays, what we intend to do is what we normally do is we plan to get manufactured the items taking longer lead time first, right? Items which may take longer time to get manufactured would be my first priority or a high priority item, right? Since we need some buffer on that subject, so we can start planning our fabrication and reduce our chances of getting delays. So you can just quickly click and create, say I want to know what are my high priority items. I can just we can categorize these based on the lead time, and we can pass it on to the production and ask them to do the manufacturing accordingly. So this again saves a lot of time, and we take right the items longer lead time first, and we take the items with average time later, and items taking least time we take at the end. All right. Similarly, we have something for the priority bought out list. So what again this say we have a motor, we do have pneumatic cylinders, we do have solenoid valves being purchased from outside from market. So now again we can plan the purchase based on their lead time. So every, as we said, we need to meet the delivery. We have a set delivery date. We have a zero date, and we have a purchase order. We have a delivery date wherein we have to dispatch our complete machine to the customer, right? So within the span, we have to plan our fabrication, design, engineering, everything. So this gives us a glimpse. So you can see there's a part-wise bill of material, high priority, and you can give this priority list. So this is basically for complete manufacturing planning, what we're talking, the complete project planning. Moving further, there's something called issue details. Basically, this is something for drawing release details. So now, as we discussed during the presentation, we normally release drawings to different departments, and department people comes back to us. They say we haven't received the drawing, we don't have it. To whom did you give the drawing? When did you give the drawing? So all those information. So now with the click, you can create a list which will have the details of which department you have released the drawing, to whom did you release the drawing, how many times you have released the drawing, and what was the last date. So this will help you keep a complete track of all the drawing release done from the design department. Okay, and these departments can be customized as per your need. To whatever departments you release the drawing, you can help us. You can let us know. We can customize it as in required. Okay, there's another option which says issued to none. So now again, when we are making machine, we do release drawing partially, right? We do not release all the drawings together. So now if you want to check what are the drawings which we haven't received, which we haven't issued yet, which we haven't released yet, so you can just click and create a report which will give you the details of items of which are not released yet. So I go here and just quickly go and create those things. Next important thing is the fabrication place. If you want to do a basic segregation of in-house and the outsourced items, right? So we can do that. We can do it as a click, and we can identify these are the items which are required to be manufactured in-house, and these are required to be sent outside. A basic segregation thing, right? So you can segregate it, and you can get the details. So that saves a lot of time again. So while we're talking about this form creator, we are just trying to talk about the automation, complete process automation, complete automation of the manufacturing process. So these are actually very small things which end up becoming a big problem in our organization. We have highlighted those small items, small problems which we live with normally, right? So you need not live with those issues now. You can just get everything get sorted through the software. So you can see these are the in-house part list. So all the in-house components are listed out, and you can start working on them. And we like to tell you all the reports will have the material summary at the bottom of the report, right? So now you can have the quick summary of material required for manufacturing this particular set of items, the weight by weight. So you can categorize them, and you can just quickly book the material, or all those stuff. All the planning can be done out there. Project costing, one of my favorite features. So now, for identifying a budget, for releasing a quick quote, say we get an inquiry for a machine, and we need to release a quick quote to uh, the customer or the prospect. So now we normally, we have just tried to cover up considering five major factors. So now any project does have five major components of any project. So those are material, labor, engineering, packing, and transportation, right? So these five major factors drive the complete project cost. So now what here we have tried to do is we have tried to cover those things. Okay, we just quickly go and say open. So as soon as I open my assembly, it gives me the details of weight, the material and their respective weight available in my machine. And what I need to do is I need to fill in the per kg cost of my material, per kg cost to the company. So like when I say there could be a plain carbon steel, I say 130 rupees a kilo. It costs me 130 rupees a kilo. So now this 130 rupees is a lump sum cost to my company. So this includes the material, labor, the surface treatment, the welding operations, etc. So this covers everything. That's the lump sum cost to my company. So next is say stainless steel SS304. I say 350 rupees a kilo. So that again includes the material, labor, pickling, passivation, welding, pending, everything. So operation cost, everything. So that's a lump sum cost to my company, right? So that gives me a finished weight cost of my machine. Next is the engineering cost. Engineering, so every like yeah. So I get the complete material summary. So these are the grades of material I'm using. These are their respective weight. So I can just put in say as I said, I say put 350 rupees a kilo. PF I say 100 rupees a kilo. PT I say 80 rupees a kilo. Plain carbon steel I say 130 rupees a kilo. Cast alloy I say 110 rupees a kilo. PT I say 100 rupees. Nigerian I say 110. This I call say 80 rupees and this I call say 200. Sorry, 200. Okay, so this I've covered the complete finished weight, the fabrication cost. Next is the engineering. So engineering is nothing but like every design, every we need to do some kind of design engineering for every project, right? So say let's say it's a 150 hours job for me, and every design engineer, everyone has their own head charges, head cost, right? So I can just quickly put and say I say 1,000 rupees per hour is my engineering cost for the design engineering hours. Say I need to do some kind of structural calculation. So that is for the sorry. So that's a 50 hours job, and my engineering charges are say 2,500 rupees per hour, right? So that covers. If you want to add any other parameter, engineering parameter, you can just add quickly. Go and add. Next, interesting is the packing. So normally our domestic orders is done air roadworthy packing, and our export orders are done as seaworthy packing, right? So I can just add say I do a roadworthy packing, and say my box size, packing box size, right? Say it's say 50 feet by 100 feet by 200 feet high, and I need two number of boxes. And what is the cost per cubic feet? So now roadworthy packing ranges from 22 to 22 rupees cubic feet to 30 rupees cubic feet. Again, it depends on industry standards. So let's say I take 25 rupees per cubic feet. Okay. Last, the transportation. Okay, so say I need a 40 feet truck. Transport this, I need two number of vehicles, and each vehicle costs me 80,000 rupees. I can just quickly go and say click create report. So as soon as I click, so what I get is I get the complete fabrication cost, engineering cost, packing cost, and last the transportation cost and the total project cost. So now I can quickly calculate the budget of my project in less than a minute time, right? So and we can quickly quote to our prospects or customers, or we can even make a budget out of it, of our project budget if we want to do. Last but not the least is the comparison of machines. So what is this comparison basically? So now, as we discussed, like we get different orders, different machine. We do make different machine models. Okay. So now we get the order for say 5, 6 10 machines at a time, and we need to plan for this production. Okay. So now what normally we do is like we release the drawings of each machines individually, right? But there are chances, there are situations when there are some parts, some hardware, some POP items are common in the all the set of machines. Of course, there could be a lot of unique components, but yes, there are also chances where which have the details of common parts which are being used in all the 5, 6 machines. So now, as we say, we take a planning of machine one separately, machine two separately, machine three separately. So so now we take planning differently. So now, so let's say there is a part which is in 5 numbers in assembly one, and there is a part which is with the same part is available in 10 numbers in machine two. Okay, so if I plan the fabrication of my first machine separately, So when I'll be planning it for 5 number of components. When I'll be planning it for my second assembly, I'll be planning it for 10 numbers. So now each of the planning will tend to have some kind of scrap, material scrap, right? But if I take the planning of 5 plus 10, total 15 numbers, I tend to save some material scrap. I can save a lot of material there, right? Which is again a cost benefit to my organization. Next is like, say I want to book hardware for one machine. So I order for 100 nut and bolt, or I order some, say, 10-15 pneumatic cylinders from market. So I get some cost. But if I multiply the cost, if I add the number of components, say I order, say, 15 or 20, I tend to get some kind of benefit on that, right? So again, I get some kind of cost benefit from the vendor, and again I save a lot of cost on my project, which is a benefit which actually adds to the company as a benefit. So now with this comparison of machines, which we give you the details of common assemblies, the common parts, common hardware, common POP items, and help you reduce your material scrap and help you get some cost benefit on your POP and hardware. So we can browse, we can compare 5 machines at a time, and we can just start creating reports, and which actually gives us the details of, say, common parts. So now when I say common parts, so this is the comparison, this machine and these are the common parts and these are the unique parts. So now the common part numbers, there's the details, the quantity in machine 1, the quantity in machine 2, and the total quantity, right? So now we can, and the most important thing is we need to release only one drawing at a time. We need not release multiple drawings of the same component, and we can attach this list so that production understand how many total components has to be manufactured and how many have to be assembled in respective machines. So this again saves a lot of time, a lot of paper, a lot of material, a lot of money. Sorry, it was the same report. So you want to identify the common hardware, right? So these are the common hardware. So yeah, that is it from our side. If you have any questions, please you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Vignesh, I think we have one question in chat box.